Yo, what's up everyone, it's LAKEY. Today I'm doing a different kind of video. Today I'm making a video about my experience thus far with Linux. So a little bit about my history. I grew up, we had a Commodore 64 in the house, and I used to play that LAKEY games or whatever, the beach one where you had like the little hacky sack and the surfing and stuff. But besides that, we was mainly like a console family as a kid and growing up. I built my first gaming PC, I would say in 2012, with the release of SomeOrdinaryGamers that came out. And I've pretty much been a Windows gamer since then. I don't play consoles anymore. In college, I went to college at ITT Tech for network administration. One of our classes wanted us to use some Linux software, so the teacher had us dual boot. So I had a Ubuntu back then. I forget what version it was, but it was the 2013 era. So this video is going to be coming from a viewpoint of someone who just has like a little seed of Linux that they're watering slowly. I'm not the most in-depth or knowledgeable. This is just going to be like a raw how my first week on Linux was. Now what kind of led me to this was I did some PC upgrades recently. Upgraded my CPU, my motherboard, RAM, basically a whole new computer besides power supply, hard storage, and case. And I switched from an Intel / NVIDIA system to an all AMD system. And when I did that, I also bought a copy of Windows 11. I put that on my computer and I was just non-stop having issues. Like I ran into the issue trying to use like the AMD Adrenalin, where it was like the AMD Ryzen Master driver version whatever couldn't install this and that. Like so when you go to your event viewer, I would have like warnings and stuff like that and errors. One of them being the Ryzen driver master not doing. No matter what I did, I tried to follow all the steps online. That didn't work. I was also having like the issue, the driver something like WUDFR or something like that failed to load for the device HID. And I tried to follow all the steps to get rid of that because my computer was randomly crashing here and there. So I followed those steps. It was not working. Then like one of the steps was in your register, like your registry, to set Windows driver foundation to auto start, but that wasn't in my registry and I could not find it there. And I could find it in like your task manager when you look at processes. I could find it there, but I could not find it in my registry. And no matter what I did, like I guess following all the steps online couldn't do that. So I just got tired of it. I was thinking maybe it's something wrong with my power supply. I thought maybe it was like something wrong with my driver, so I ended up uninstalling AMD Adrenalin and just installing just the GPU driver. And with doing that, I missed out on like some of the functions, like the screen cap, like being able to upscale, being able to use all the little GPU controls. They had this really cool feature, like I really liked it, where you could just like use a keybind and it would auto create a GIF of like the last 20 seconds of what's happening, because I could use that to easily share GIFs. So I ended up having to do that. But I just wasn't satisfied with it. Like the Windows 11 was just like getting to me. I remember a video from like a year or so ago from Linus Tech Tips. It was actually Anthony did the video about Linux, and it was about Mint. So I remember that one, that kind of piqued my interest. And then recently, videos from Mutahar, SomeOrdinaryGamers, has been talking about the, like the state of Linux gaming. And, with the advent of the Steam Deck, Linux has become a way more popular gaming system. Like, obviously it's not comparable to Windows, but it's growing. And the amount of games that are compatible are growing by like the day. Steam has also been really interested in getting things to like be compatible. So you're using like their Proton software that they have. They basically can just translate a game in real time to something the Linux system can use. one of the final vids that like helped me the most, and I was like kind of like, all right, I'm gonna do it, was this video from Comrade Farret. It was on Garuda. So I'll have the link for all these videos and like the videos that meant the most and the channels that helped me like come to Linux in the description. It was just like a really great video, like explaining, you know, that it's not too stressful to get into, things are easy, things just work, it's getting better, how far they've came. Really great video, I highly recommend it. Alright, and that kind of describes like my history with PCing and what kind of like influenced me to want to choose Linux. So now I want to get into like doing it. So like Mint is Ubuntu based, Garuda Gaming is like Garuda, which is Arch based, and Nobara, which is Fedora based. All three, from what I hear, great choices for like newer people to Linux and also gamers to Linux, which to me, like gaming and content creation, streaming, stuff like that is like the most use that my computer does. So I was definitely going to choose one of those. The process was super easy. I'll do like a little walkthrough later on in this video to, if anyone is interested in doing it themselves. I started with Garuda Gaming, which is the Arch-based one. Now Mint and Nobara, since they're Ubuntu and Fedora based, they kind of are like scheduling updates type thing. From what I understand, again, I'm not like the most in-depth Linux person, but from what I understand, it's kind of like Windows stuff. Like they have like scheduled, you know, we got all this stuff right now, we're gonna roll it out. Garuda, which is Arch-based, is like a rolling updating system. Like anytime something new comes along, it's like cutting edge. They just bam, they push it out to people. It updates, whatever. So there's like, you have to know a little bit more about it, about Linux, I feel, to use one of those, because, you know, there's stuff that can break, things aren't going to work properly, and I just don't know enough about Linux to deal with that. I did start with Garuda Gaming though, but I ran into an issue. So day one, Garuda Gaming was beautiful. I got everything installed, everything was working good. I was up and streaming within like an hour and a half. I played Helldivers all night. As you can see, all the gameplay in this video in the background is from my Linux system. So you can see it runs great, no issues. So I ran into issues on day two. So my Octopi, which is your repository, which I'll go over that later too. It's like how you install stuff or install stuff off of your Linux system. It quit working. I don't know what happened. I thought user error, obviously, because I like updated my mirrors and this and that at one point, and I'm like, oh, I broke something, you know, I did it, my fault. So I reinstalled Garuda, but then it still wasn't working. So I'm like, oh, maybe this is one of them rolling update thingies. So I started looking around in the Discord, and people were talking about get rid of Octopi anyways and use Pacman, this and that. I'm not comfortable. Like I said, this is like day two of using Linux, so I was not comfortable with going through all that. So I downloaded Nobara, installed Nobara. Again, so much easier than Windows, both of them. Up and running in no time. Off to gaming and streaming I went. Things went fine. You know, bada bing, bada boom. As far as the actual switching over, getting into it was smooth, easy, quick, far better experience than Windows. You don't have like a million things asking for your personal information and this and that and sign into this and do that. Like, just nice and smooth, easy, boom, done. All right, so now I want to kind of go over like how it works, what happens, how easy things are, stuff like that. So Nobara is kind of a gaming based OS. So you already have Steam, OBS, things like that will already come installed with it. All the stuff you're going to use. So they use, if you use Steam, boom, it's easy. Steam is easy to use. If you want to use stuff like the Epic Games Launcher, GOG, Ubisoft, stuff like that, you're going to use this program called Litrus. Now on other ones, Garuda had this as well. I don't know if Mint comes with this as standard. From what I don't think it does. So when you go into Litrus, you can sign in. As you can see, I'm signed into my Epic's games. So any one of my games on Epic, I can download and install through this, and it will let me play the games. You have Ubisoft, EA, GOG. You can even put your Steam through here. You can run your emulators, stuff like that. So it uses this program called Wine. Now, Wine is what converts Windows stuff to things that the Linux can use. From what I understand, Wine is like the big compatible thing that bridges the Linux Windows programs. Now, Wine will come pre-installed. So everything you need to game is basically pre-installed and easy peasy, one click done type thing. So I really love that about it. I know Wine came installed pre on Garuda. I don't know about Mint. I know Mint is like the easiest one, supposedly, what I hear for new users. But a lot of these things like Litrus, Wine, all that stuff you'll have to get yourself, which is super easy, by the way. You'll have to do that yourself. I just picked this one because I just want something that was plug and play, ready to go, because I'm a dullard. I don't understand the full depths of it. I know eventually I'm going to use terminal and things like that to do like specific things, or once I get more comfortable to like customize things. Just wasn't ready for that yet. So that's how all your gaming is done, through like right through your Steam library. And open this up. So as you can see, I have my games, I have my whole list of games I can play. You know, install. You can look at this website called here called ProtonDB, and this will show you how many games are compatible with Linux all together. You can search here for a specific game. So let's see, Helldivers 2, right? A new release, a really popping game. It's got a gold standard. It says it runs perfectly after tweaks. I got lucky, mine ran perfectly with no tweaks. So you can look here, you can search for any game that's out on Steam. It'll tell you like how easy it is to convert it, stuff like that. Now, certain games you're not going to be able to play because of the anti-cheat system, like Rainbow R6, I think the Call of Duty, stuff like that. Now, what I hear from Mutahar videos, it's as easy as them just, you know, making one email and telling them to flip a switch, and then boom, you could be allowed to use it on that. So hopefully, as this gets more popular, thanks to Steam Deck, more and more games will become Linux ready, or compatible at least. So one thing you will change is in compatibility, you're going to turn both of these on, which for me, Proton was already selected on this one. On Garuda Gaming, it was still on like I forgot which one it was. It was one of the Windows ones. I just select Proton Experimental, but in this version for Nobara, it was already set. So my compatibility was already set up, and I was good to go. So Steam works good. All that. It came with the multimedia. It came with already video editing software put in it. Firefox, you can get other. So the way that you install and uninstall programs is amazing. So say I wanted to install Discord, right? I could go here, I could download it for Linux and go through all that. I could set it up manually, or, which is one of my favorite things about Linux, is they have this program called on Nobara, it's called Discover. On Mint, it's called something else. On Garuda Gaming, it was Octopi, but from what I hear, you're supposed to use Pac-Man. Every Linux will have them. Well, I can't say like every. Some of them you enter through command lines, but all of them that are like UI, like the setup newer, like quote unquote new Linux user ones will have them, and they're super easy. So say I did want to get Discord, right? Boom, you type Discord. There'll be a one button click, like these on Zoom. You click one button, it installs Discord, you're done. You want to uninstall Discord? Boom, one click, you're done. Now, there is some limitation kind of with Linux. So since Linux is like, I would say more secure than Windows, some features are harder to use or not supported yet through other companies. So if you're someone who likes to like screen share a lot, stream in Discord, which I do a lot with friends, regular Discord will not allow that. You'll have to use something like there's Discord screen audio. As you can see, I have them both installed, and I can open up both at once. And then when I'm ready to screen share, I just rejoin the channel on the other one and start screen sharing. Now, the reason I have both and I don't solely use this is because through Linux, I guess it's through like the KDE style UI that this one uses and like Garuda uses. It doesn't allow you to set global hotkeys type thing. So I can't use my push to talk. Like I'm a very like big proponent of push to talk on Discord. Like I don't like background noise. I don't want to hear your TV blaring in the background, stuff like that. So and a lot of my friends are the same. We mostly use like push to talk, or everyone's in like quiet areas or has really good noise gates, stuff like that. So you can't use push to talk on the Discord stream audio unless you're focused, unless that's your focus, you know what I mean? Like unless this is like, say this is like Discord and I have this highlighted. But once I like click on my other screen, like my second screen, or I click something else to open it, my push to talk no longer works. So like if we're watching movies or something together, I'll use this. But the normal Discord, I'll just disconnect from the channel and reconnect to the channel on this one. Easy peasy. So there's some limitations. But that's like with anything, like, you know, you have your internet browser, boom, you can just instant one click remove it. From what I hear, a lot of people like using this Brave browser. You could click that, one click, boom. Stuff like that. Like you see, if I wanted to put GNU, I just click install, it's there, done. So I really love this tool and I think it's great. I think it's awesome. So yeah. So that's the easy usability, the gaming, all this stuff is already set up. Now, when it comes to like the communities, from what I hear, there is like some elitism in there's some like elitism that happens in Linux, you know, where like, oh, I'm an Arch user, or this Linux, like what I'm using, though, this is too simple or too noobish to be real Linux, or, you know, like, that's what I've heard. But from everything I've saw personally, I've not ran into that once. Now, this is the Discord for the Nobara. Nobara was created by Glorious Eggroll. But this Discord is amazing. Everyone in it that I've talked to is amazing. They're all super helpful. All super nice. Like I like have like a question, explain to them that I'm kind of newer, so this question might sound dumb, and people, and they're like, well, it doesn't sound dumb, this is just what you do here, this and this. Like, so I'm gonna get Mango HUD on my computer, and Mango HUD is like a monitoring program that shows you like CPU, GPU usage. It has all kinds of stuff. Well, you can use it easily through this Go overlay, which is like a one-click thing. So that's already in my program. So if I just hit here, there's like the start menu, just like in Windows. I can click Go overlay, open it up, and see my stuff. Well, from what I hear, this isn't exactly liked by a lot of people in the Linux thing, and you can set this up manually. Now, I didn't know how to do that, so I asked in the Discord, and without no issue, no flack, or no like, oh, you noob or nothing like this. They gave me the link, how I needed to copy, which folder I needed to open, what folder I needed to put that in. Bada bing, bada boom. Now my Mango HUD is in my games if I want to turn them on. And then I can turn them on by, let's say, I have it on one, so PC Simulator. I just have it run it as like the launch options. So this is in here, so automatically when I start this game, that'll be up in my game, easy peasy. So the community is very helpful. Every question I've had, they've answered it no problem. They've always been nice. Like, sure, there might be some elitist people, but they're just not responding to what I said. And there are plenty of people that are responding that are helpful. So you don't, I haven't personally seen no elitism, no assholes, no, you know, no nothing like that. Everyone's been nice, and I've loved it. Now I kind of want to go over the installation of the Linux system. It was very easy, very quick. You will have to make like a bootable thumb drive on your own. I'll walk you through that. A lot of it is very just easy to do. I don't know how else to put it. So when you're choosing, these are the three that I kind of would say. You just type in you can type in like what I did. Look, Nobara Linux. Boom, you're there. For Garuda, type in Garuda Linux. Boom, you're there. Mint, you guessed it. Mint Linux. Boom, you're there. Right. So when you're in Nobara, they have the little thing that tells you what the Nobara project is, and how it came about, the different stuff. Like a while ago, NVIDIA had lots of trouble being used with Linux properly, but as I'll show you, that even that is a thing of the past. So when you pick one, so from here you can choose. So the Garuda has different options. You can choose the KDE Dragon Eyes, which I was using the KDE Dragon Eyes, but the gaming edition. If you look at the gaming edition, it'll tell you it comes with Steam, Heroic Launcher, Lutris, Wine. So these are all things that Proton that allow you to play your Windows games in Linux right off the bat. You don't have to do no extra steps. And this is why I like this one. It came with OBS in it already. Core Control, which is like a GPU monitoring system. OpenRBG to control your colors and your, all your RGB colors. Came with Discord and Mumble already in it. Emulators. So that's why I chose this one. But again, this one's an Arch one, so, and it's like a rolling update. So if something messes up, I just feel like you got to have, and it might not even be true, but I just feel like you got to have a little bit more knowledge of Linux to use Arch-based. You can choose different ones, Cinnamon, all these different versions depending on what you like or what you want. The same thing with Mint. You just click download, you download the file, Nobara. I'll tell you, like, this is the official. This is Nobara official. If you want it on GNOME, which is the other version of the UI, you can use this one. If you just want just the KDE version without the extra bells and whistles like this. Yeah, so this is what like the official would look like. That's what I have. This is what GNOME looks like. It's a little bit different. It's like the other version, and then this is just like the more bare bones KDE. So you'll click download, you'll download the file. Then you'll use either a Balena Etcher. Sorry, I butchered that. Balena Etcher, you'll use that. Or you can use ads, or you can use Rufus. So you can do either one. I think Balena Etcher is easier to use. Rufus is just, it's easy too. So when you download it, you'll take a thumb drive. That should be 8 GB thumb drive. It could be any thumb drive, 8 gig to however much you want. So you'll download that. You'll start it up, and it's super easy. I can't really show you. I don't have a virtual machine. Otherwise, I would show you actually like the full process. I haven't got into like setting up a virtual machine on this. I eventually will. That'll allow me to like install other operating systems. But it basically looks like this. You'll select the image. Like it literally looks kind of like this as a program. I don't really want to download it right now. So you'll select the file that, like, you'll select the Nobara file that you saved, or Garuda file, or Mint file that you saved. You'll select it. Then you'll just select the thumb drive. It'll be listed there. And then you just click a button and it flashes. So after, however long, 5 minutes, something like that, you'll have a bootable flash drive. Now, when you're ready to do it, you'll make sure the flash drive is plugged in. You'll restart your computer. Now, every computer is like a little bit different depending on your motherboard. For me, F11 opens boot menu, delete opens BIOS. So if you hold that, like you'll see that on your screen when your computer's starting up. It'll say like hold F11 or hold delete or hold whatever to see boot menu. So I'll hold F11, right? I'll push that down. hold F11. A couple of seconds later, it'll take me to a boot menu. I select the thumb drive, hit OK or start or whatever, and then my computer starts to that. When you start to that, the stuff for Navarra will start popping up. It'll take a few minutes. It'll start installing stuff, and then it's gonna bring you to the desktop. And the only thing that will be up here, like these won't be here. This one I added myself because I need to change a shortcut command. Steam won't be here. Host remote play won't be here. It'll just say install Nobara. So the thing with like some of these, like these Linux systems, when you download them the first time, you get to kind of try them out. Like you'll be able to click the discover thing. You'll be able to look through apps, see things that you want, things like that. Test it out, browse. You'll be able to like look through your start menu, get yourself kind of familiarized, or see if it's something you want to get into. Now, if it is, you'll just double click the install, and then it starts its process. Now it's going to ask you things like, you know, to name the computer, to set a password. Make sure you set a password, because it's like a good password, because it's going to be like your privilege literally to everything. Any type of stuff that needs a higher privilege will be requiring your password. So Linux is pretty secure about stuff like that. It's gonna walk you through steps like check your date and time, you know, you put that in, and then it's gonna take you to, or then it's gonna finish up and it's gonna do the rest of the stuff on its own. Easy peasy. Then when you come into the Navarra for the very first time, you're gonna be greeted with this, which is your welcome Navarra thing. So it'll bring you to this. From here, it'll say, you know, first steps. You'll want to do update my system first, right? You'll do the update to your system. Now, it'll have that's what I'm saying, like NVIDIA now is a lot more, I wouldn't say NVIDIA is friendly. I would say the usage of NVIDIA stuff on Linux is more friendly due to the great people working in Linux that are making it possible, not NVIDIA making it possible. NVIDIA does not do anything to help out the Linux people. So you will install your Linux. I don't have that, so I don't put those in. If you have AMD, you're basically good to go, plug and play, done anyways. So you can, you know, install more apps, install web apps. As you can see, it'll have Blender. So this is video editing software where I've actually made this video. OBS, Discord, you can just boom, 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 install. Optional steps, if you want drivers for controllers, put those in. Install Proton, which is like the Steam's base, like how they, you know, like I talked about earlier, Proton and Wine is how games become compatible. Well, more than just games, but programs become compatible with Linux. So you do this, you can do this step right here, which I did, which automatically, like I said, makes your Steam be set to run Linux stuff instantly and eventually resolve. You can choose how you want like your icons, how you want your theme to look on your desktop. They have the stuff for their community, of course, to support them, and then the credits for it. So you complete that, restart all this stuff, especially after your updates, and you are basically good to go. You can download the games. Use your download manager here, or like your, you know, your Discover. You can go through, get different things that you want to get, look up whatever you want to look up, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's Linux for you. It's pretty easy to install. Maybe later, once I do get a virtual machine set up, I'll go through like a full-length installation, step by step. But if you ever installed Windows, you can install Linux. It's like Windows installation, but faster, smoother, less questions, less annoyances, all around better usability. So let's see. So yeah, so in closing, my first week with Linux has been great. I no longer have computer crashes that I was having. And I didn't do nothing. I thought maybe it was my PSU, but I bought a PSU tester. PSU is good. Ever since switching to Linux, haven't had none of those crashes, not once. So it must have been some type of driver or software issue with Linux or with Windows 11. I've had no problems. Everything has been smooth. Community is great. From what I can tell so far, everyone's been super helpful, super nice. I guess my recommendations would be, if you are brand new to Linux, go with something like Nobara, which I highly personally recommend. Mint. If you're up for like a challenge and you want to start learning faster, maybe Garuda. But do know that you'll have to do a little more work in the Garuda. Yeah, so that's basically it. My week has been great. I look forward to many more weeks like this one where my computer is just running buttery smooth and everything is still working and games are going to keep getting better. The state of gaming on Linux is going to continue to grow as Steam Deck brings more and more games into the Linux environment. And yeah, I want to give a shout out to like the channels and the videos that help bring me into Linux. Again, all their links will be in the description below. And then like a special like shout out and thank you to my friend Cosmic. She makes all my art for my channel, all my emotes, my VTube models, my 2D models. All of my artwork is made through Cosmic. She's a phenomenal person. She's great. She does artwork obviously for a living. I'll leave a channel, or I'll leave a link to her Twitter in the bio. If you're interested in, you know, commissioning some type of artwork for your channels or for your stream. She's just a great person, very helpful, and an awesome artist. Yeah, so that about wraps it up. That was my experience with Linux. That is, I don't know, I've just been happy. I've been happy and completely satisfied with my change. I hope this video helped someone out. I hope you guys too see how it's not as daunting as it looks from like the outside looking in. Once you start getting into it, you'll understand like how much it's changed from what it used to be and how much easier it is to use for a new person. If this video helped anyone, or if you like it or whatever, don't like it, some type of reaction, give, you know, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Either way, I'm fine with that. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I'll catch y'all later.